which is how fast would you be going if you started at 15 meters per second and accelerated at 1 meter per second squared for 5 seconds? All right, so what do we have as far as givens in this problem? What do we know?
How fast you started?
Okay, and what's that?
15 meters per second.
Okay, and what quantity, what symbol should I label that? How fast I started, which quantity is that? You're welcome.
Initial velocity.
Initial velocity, thank you. Yeah, so initial velocity, or the VI, right, or VXI, that's 15 meters per second. Good. What else do we have?
How fast you've been? How fast the acceleration is?
We have the value of the acceleration, right? It's not exactly how fast, but yeah, we do have the acceleration. What is that?
1 meter per second squared.
Right. 1 meter per second squared. We could say that's how fast or how quickly the velocity is changing. But be careful, because just how fast refers to the velocity. Okay, so he's speeding up by 1 meter per second every second. That's the acceleration. And then one more thing that's given here, right?
The time.
The time, yeah. What's the time going to be?
5 seconds.
Right, thanks, Angel. 5 seconds for the time. Okay, so we've got 3 givens down, so that sounds good. And then what would be our unknown? What are they asking us for in this problem?
Final velocity.
Yeah, that's right. Final velocity, right? How fast would you be going after you do that acceleration? So we're going to be looking for the VXF. All right, so we've got our givens and our unknown. We've got our 4 kinematic equations here to pick from. So which kinematic equation is it that has the initial velocity, the acceleration, the time, and the final velocity? Only one of those 4.
The second one.
Yeah, that's right, Zeke. It's the second one. Right, the second one's got initial velocity, time, acceleration, and final velocity. Right, so perfect. So we just copy that one down. It says final velocity is your starting velocity plus the acceleration times the time. And lucky for us today, we don't need to do any algebra, right? Because we're looking for the final velocity, and in this equation, it's already by itself on one side. So we can go ahead and plug in our numbers. Right? Initial velocity was 15 meters per second, plus the acceleration, which was 1 meter per second squared, times our time, which is 5 seconds. So 15 plus 1 times 5 is going to be 20, right? 5 times 1 is just 5. I think we can forego using the calculator today for this one. So I get 20, and it's meters over seconds, right? Because meters over seconds squared times a seconds, one of the seconds cancels out. So we have 20 meters per second. That would be our final velocity. And that makes sense, right? If we started at 15 meters per second and accelerated a little bit, 20 meters per second sounds like a good ending velocity.